Well, what we want to prove and to achieve is that we have a great product. It's a product that works very, very well in tough conditions.
And we're heading to Anchorage, Alaska.
Well, you know what, I think this is going to be an adventure. I've already driven this vehicle in the city. It'll be interesting to see what it's going to do when it's minus 30 out there.
Well, the way I understand it is that Mercedes wanted to demonstrate that this Sprinter van was about as rugged and capable as anything else that's on the road there. So we figured that the best place to prove that is on a place like this, the Alaska Highway.
It's very cold, absolutely positively cold.
How cold is it, you might be wondering?
I believe it's minus 15.
It was minus 42 when we pulled in here.
41 below.
51 below degree weather. It literally takes your breath away.
I've never experienced this cold before in my life.
We're driving on a sheer block of ice.
The roads are totally covered with ice. Sprinter's handling really well.
It's a long way from Edmonton to Anchorage, Alaska, more than 3,000 kilometers. But we're driving it in these Mercedes Sprinter vans. Mercedes wants to show off the rugged abilities of the clean diesel Sprinter, and it doesn't get much more rugged than the road to Alaska in January. Now, at the end of the first day of the week on the road, we're here at Dawson Creek, British Columbia, mile 0 of the Alaska Highway. It was in 1942 that the Americans were concerned that invading Japanese forces could attack Alaska, and it was undefended. They needed to get provisions, supplies, they needed to get stuff up to Alaska and to do it in a hurry. They built the road from here for 2,700 kilometers north up to Fairbanks in just 8 months. But since then, I mean, that was a very bad road. Since then, they've been improving it every single year. Now it's a fairly modern highway, but it's still a road of romance and mystery. Come with us at wheels.ca to see for yourself. In 2006, I came through here on my way up to the Yukon. This is Watson Lake. It's the first settlement that you get to when you come in from BC. And it's notable because there are tens of thousands of signposts here, which began in 1942. A lonely homestruck GI put up a sign to his hometown back in Indiana, and it just kept on going up. In 2006, I put up a sign back to Toronto for the Toronto Star, and I'm going to see if I can find it. I'm going to see if I can trace it. It's next to something from Beaumont, Texas, I believe. Slow going through this snow. Jeez. Oakville, Ontario, 3,300 miles to the east. You got Toronto, Hi, Jack and Brown, 1999. We love you. I give up. I don't know, it's around here somewhere. There's tens of thousands of signs. Our sign was like this. I guess I'm just gonna have to go off, steal a road sign, or, you know, procure one from somewhere and come all the way back here to Watson Lake and put up another one. We're on our way from Edmonton to Anchorage, more than 3,000 kilometers through the January ice and snow. This northern road is an experience like no other that you'd find in the south. We've seen mountains that rise almost 20,000 feet. That's the highest in Canada. We've seen wildlife beside the road, thick, furry bison, and dark, moving shapes near the trees that just watch us with caution. And we've driven on a road that's tough on tires. Chains and studs are encouraged. Winter tires are a necessity. not just tires. If you want to get where you're going, you need advanced ABS brakes, traction control, stability control, that sort of thing. It's just as well for us that this Mercedes Sprinter van has these, but it also has acceleration skid control, enhanced understeering control, or among others. It's a long list. We're happy to have them when the road tightens up, and also when we just want to have some fun. It even has a special diesel-powered preliminary heater for those really cold mornings. Here in North America, Mercedes hasn't really developed a reputation for having a vehicle that can deal with a true northern winter. So they wanted to prove that their Sprinter vans were up to the challenge. And it doesn't get a lot more true and northern than Alaska in January. Now we've reached Anchorage after 5 days on the road. We've dropped down from the mountains down to the North Pacific coast. And it's from here that I got to fly home. But I'm going to give the keys to Kathy Renwald. She's taken the Sprinter van all the way up to Coldfoot, north of the Arctic Circle. Kathy, good luck on the road to the Arctic. I'm going to be watching the adventure on wheels.ca. This key's for you. Drive safe.
Day one is the drive from Anchorage to Fairbanks. We pass the cinematic Denali National Park and Mount McKinley as the major attraction. The vast landscape just fills your windshield as you drive. Day two is the drive 410 kilometers from Fairbanks to Coldfoot. Yes, this is the famous Dalton Highway, built as a supply road for the Alaska Pipeline. It's pretty much about men and big trucks and survival of the fittest, and even loneliness. In a caravan of 9 Sprinter vans, you can still feel lonely in the vastness of the landscape. But it's a beautiful loneliness with those trees hunched and lathered in heavy snow or stripped bare by wildfires, and landmarks like the Yukon River cutting across the land in a frozen sweep. There's no cell phone service here, just you, the road, the trucks, and the Alaska Pipeline curving alongside the road. There's moose by the side of the highway, stout and statuesque, and even the sight, an improbable one, of a cyclist on the Dalton Highway. We saw him on the way to Coldfoot and again on the way back, where he had camped to escape the fierce wind. We jumped out like tourists at Finger Rock. I felt the sting of minus 38 degrees Celsius and ripping wind, and made the mandatory stop at the sign marking the Arctic Circle, clutching, of course, the Toronto Star wheel section. From the Arctic Circle landmark to Coldfoot, it's starkly beautiful. A lunar landscape with white slopes covered in a black stubble of beat-up evergreens and views 360 degrees wide. We reach Coldfoot Camp in the long Alaskan twilight in one piece, ably transported by the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter vans. The camp is a major truck stop. Step outside your room or travel just a few miles north to Wiseman and get one of the best views of the Aurora Borealis in North America. When I took the keys to the Sprinter van, I knew it was going to be exciting, but I didn't want it to be this exciting. This accident happened near the end of the trip on the way back to Anchorage. A tractor trailer tried to avoid having an accident, went for the side of the road towards the ditch. His back end swung around and one of our Sprinter vans was involved in the accident. No injuries, but damages to the van, and it shows you how extreme the driving conditions can be here.